Today I am eating a frog. I'm ready. Wait, no, I'm not. Now I'm ready. A few videos ago you saw we have this yellow jacket nest in our barn. There is a yellow jacket nest in the corner of our barn. And I sprayed it yesterday, but they live. It's been terrorizing our family. My kids are, you know, like most kids, not big fans of yellow jackets. I'm not a big fan of yellow jackets. I've been stung a couple too many times in my life to tolerate them. And I've gone through 2 like projectile sprays and it's not working. So this is foaming aerosol. You apply it with this straw. You got to get real close, but it creates a solid wall. And this morning I am going to do what I have been putting off for the last few days. My kids are terrified to go do the barn chores. This nest is right by the door. It's in an awful spot. So I'm not looking forward to this. So let's see how it goes, shall we? As you can see, I'm pretty well dressed here. I have been waiting to do this in the morning. The reason I didn't do this like day 1 is first I tried those shooting sprays and those just didn't cut it. This nest is up and in the barn door. So I've been waiting for an early morning where it's cool, where the bees aren't really active yet. I should say yellow jackets. Leave it! Come on! The yellow jackets are not really active yet. It's cold and oh boy. I say that, but I can see them already flying out of that nest. So much for that idea. Well, that's why I was waiting till the early morning. Should have got up earlier to do this. Ooh, I don't like bees. Ugh, they are pouring out of that hole. Good Lord. Okay, this should be interesting. I really don't like yellow jackets. I know, like, all animals have a purpose. I actually researched one time what the purpose of yellow jackets was, because I didn't understand why they existed on the planet. Yeah, they clean up rotting corpses and, you know, but so do ants and vultures, and, you know, they're okay. I don't mind them. The difference with this stuff is that it foams up nice and big and you can block the whole entrance so that they either have to burrow in or burrow out. And the theory is that will kill them all, which was my goal. All right. So about this frog. My biggest fear was there was one on that helmet and I didn't know it, and I was gonna just bring it inside the workshop and ugh. I know there's someone in the comments who's like a permaculture wizard, and they're gonna be like, bruh, the problem is the solution. Use the yellow jackets to till the ground with their stingers so you can plant the seeds without tilling the dirt. I hate yellow jackets, sorry, permaculture wizard. I'm killing them. I know, it's awful. Ugh, I still feel like they're on me. Today we're going to get started on a new project, and I'm doing something a little bit different here. Usually I come at you with a done project, and then what always happens is I build this thing and I make the video a week later and I put that video out and I get like 30 comments of just great ideas. Unlike the permaculture wizard who wants me to use bees to till the ground. Dude, what are you on? So instead of making you a project how to do video and show you it and then listen to all the great ideas, I'm going to tell you today about a project I'm starting. You're going to see it begin, but you can comment below all kinds of great ideas. Oh, don't let me forget to talk about the frog. This is a 275 gallon IBC tote. And what I'm using this one and additional one for is to get water for my animals up into my fields. You see, I have been working on getting more and more animals out onto pasture. We have a whole herd of goats who just kidded. Worm load is always really hard on those that have kidded, and we're seeing the effects of that. We talked about that in a previous video. My cows are out on somewhat of a movable pasture, but they still have this pathway. They have to get back to the barn for water and such. And I would really like to get up in that field. I'd like to be able to rotationally graze the whole field because it would reduce the worm load on my animals. They would be healthier for them. The ideal situation that you want to work towards, if it's realistic, on your homestead is to be moving your animals onto fresh grass. Some people do it every day, some people do it twice a day. The reason why is the best quality grass is what they're gonna eat first before the grass gets too tall and it isn't allowed to get too short. You get it at that sweet spot. There's a point of maximum quality, and you can work your field so that your cows or your ruminants get to enjoy that maximum quality forage at that perfect point. But to do that, you have to move them a lot because they eat that maximum perfect quality forage pretty quickly, and then the regrowth, they can stunt the pastures. It can be bad for your animals and bad for your pastures if you don't move them. Now that's the perfect scenario. Not all of us homesteaders realistically can do this. My goal, believe it or not, while ideally will be a daily move, maybe a twice daily move. The thing I'm shooting for by the end of this summer is to have a setup that will allow my cows a 3-day move. The reason why is that transition period going from one giant paddock to a couple paddocks that they move within every week or couple weeks. Takes time to transition into something that has the right setup for moving them daily without it taking like 3 hours every day. So I'm getting there, and one of the problems I had to solve was water. We don't have any ponds up there. Something I'd like to change in the future, maybe put a pond at the base of the hill where the second field turns into the first field, but that's a much larger and more expensive project. That will be a lot more time and effort, and I'd like to observe the property more before I go throwing in a water feature that wasn't already there. So until that happens, I have this smaller herd of ruminants that I could give water from this It's 275 gallon IBC tote. 275 gallons, I got 2 of these. And the idea is to put a gutter on the barn because as you know, we have a water problem at the barn. And one thing that would help with that moisture around the barn, the water and the muck, would be putting gutters on the barn, catching that rain, and then throwing that rainwater into an IBC tote. And I have 2 of them so that I can alternate them up on top of the field. So these 275 gallon totes are already built in a aluminum frame on a pallet. That means I can move them with my tractor up into the field easily. I have a pair of forks to do that with, and I can bring one up to the top and then one back down to be filled and alternate. If I like the system, I'll buy more. What is the system going to look like? Let me show you the pieces that I want to include in this and tell you my ideas so that you can shoot holes in it before I build it. Give me ideas before I build it so that way I can incorporate those and we can have a really awesome crowdsourced watering system for the animals. These are the basic pieces of the puzzle. I got obviously my IBC tote to hold all of the water for the animals. I have a heavy duty, I believe this is a 50-foot Technor Apex hose. I've talked about them in the past. They're very durable hoses. Some people don't even winterize them, they just leave them out. Technor Apexes are great hoses. They're the only ones I use on the Homestead. I'm experimenting with those other ones. It's getting hot. Ooh, that's why you eat the frog. I am going to attach this IBC tote to that hose with this. This is a adapter that I was able to buy from the guy who sold me the IBC tote. He's a smart guy. He knows that it's better to sell to a customer you already have than to try to get a new customer. So you have to have more products to sell to your existing customer. Little tip for you business owners. Don't try to get new customers, try to sell, well, I mean, yeah, try to get new customers. But it's easier to sell more to the ones you already have. This adapter takes the IBC tote's big giant and puts it into a hose thread. These IBC totes, one of the reasons they're nice for this kind of project is they actually already come with a valve with a lever and you can turn the water on and off. Did I tell you what IBC totes are generally used? This is a food grade IBC tote. Food grade. This originally was used for donuts. This is a cane automatic waterer. And the way that it works, you plug your hose in that end and there is built in an automatic water float valve. You've seen us put those little giant float valves in, but this one already exists. And the thing I like about this for watering the animals in the field, it's going to be attached to the IBC tote. There'll be pressure because there's a lot more water up high that's going to push down into this. The water will fill this automatically on demand, but there won't be a lot of water in it constantly, which means less cleaning, less algae, less mosquitoes. I can go up here once a day, take a quick wipe out of this guy and it's fine. I mean, once a day won't even need it. The livestock are going to be drinking that water and moving that water. We won't get the problems you get in a big old trough, which is algae and nasty. Now, I don't like the idea of attaching this to my well because it's small. There are spots to pin it, but with goats around, you know, goats jumping on stuff, breaking stuff, I could picture them busting some hoses and it leaking all day long and my well runs dry, and once your well runs dry it can break, so that's an expensive mistake to make. So I've never attached one of these to a hose that's connected to my well and left it on. But this, the worst case scenario is if goats or cows step on this, which I'm going to put it under some electric fence, they're only going to be able to stick their head in and grab it. So it shouldn't get damaged, but even if it did, the worst case scenario is it would drain the tote, and when I go and check on the animals, I'll see that the tote's empty and I'll swap it out. Don't know if it's gonna work, that's why I'm making this video. Maybe some of you have tried this already and say, oh, those things don't work great because of this or that. So we'll find out together, either in the comments below or by me testing it out. But that is the setup. Tote, adapter, hose, cane, manufacturing companies, automatic waterer. It's pinnable for goats so they don't flip it over. It's small so that you don't get mosquitoes and algae, and it's easy to clean. And the water, hopefully, is gonna stay cool. I know that's one of the issues some of you commenters probably already commented below. Asked how you're gonna keep the water cool. in the tote? And well, that's a good question. Some of you know water is a good thermal battery. It holds heat longer, it holds cool longer. So I'm hoping that this will be cool over a long cold night, and in the morning time they'll have a good chance to get a good sip of water before it heats up throughout the day. I'm also going to be painting this tote because I know if this is clear, light can come in through this, causing an algae bloom. We don't want an algae bloom. We want this water to be fresh and cool. So I'm going to paint the outside of the tote. I'm going to paint it probably green so that it kind of blends in with the pastures and it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. Oh, I'm going to put a strip of painter's tape down the side here where you see it labeled for how much water it can hold. Those are all my ideas. Whatever your ideas are, how I can improve the system, fire off in these comments below. In case you're curious, how did the bee spray go? All those little things you see there, those are all dead yellow jackets. Now, boom, there's a live one. I've tried, oh, there's two alive ones. There's another alive one. I've tried the long distance sprays. They didn't do half as much that damage. But as you can see, they're still flying around. I'm afraid, ooh, right. I'm afraid that may not have like wiped out the colony. It might have just killed some of the workers coming and going. Might be time for somebody to call an exterminator. Any StarCraft fans out there? So eating the frog, do you know what eating the frog is? Those of you who don't know what eating the frog is, it's a saying that is attributed to Mark Twain, and basically the idea is start your day off eating a frog, and that way everything else is easier. The idea is to do the hardest thing that you have to do during the day first. Just get it over with, get your big important job done, and then everything else will be easier. For me, getting into double layers of clothing and going out and spraying a bee's nest today, that was eating the frog. What are you doing to eat the frog? What's the worst thing you got to do this week on your homestead? Get it done early and let us know in the comments below, and let me know what would you do for the waterer. I'm gonna get to work on that waterer, and I'm gonna keep working on that waterer, and I'll incorporate your ideas. So thanks for watching. If you like our channel, be sure to shop through this link when you're going to shop at Amazon, or type in www.amsteady.com before you go to shop. It will forward you there. We'll make a small commission for sending you there, but it won't cost you a penny extra. Thank you.